What's up, y'all? It's Ty in this video. Today, we're going to be doing a tier list ranking our best centers right now. NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. If you don't see your center or the centers that you're wanting to see, guys, look, check out my power forward tier. Like, if a card is on a power forward tier and I primarily run them at power forward, they're not going to be featured on the center tier. Essentially like a pink diamond Giannis, right? He's power forward center. He's on the power forward tier list. But Pau Gasol, power forward primarily. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I do think of as a power forward primarily. I feel like AD, right? Another primary power forward. Although in the no money spend, I do run him at center. Just some guys to keep in the back of your minds. That again, if you want to see where they rank, check out the power forward tier list. Now, as I do hop into this thing, dive into it. Remember, these are your best of the best. So I see a lot of people like even commenting on my small forward, like Sean Marion Ty, what? Why are you ranking him so low? It's not that he's unplayable. It's just that I don't rate him that high. So, like, even with Dikembe Mutombo, I'm throwing Dikembe Mutombo when I'm looking at these cards at D tier. He's not quite F tier, but he's D tier. He's not bad, but he just can't shoot. And at this stage, an inside big with not 99 speed, I think D tier is as high as I can go. Again, I don't think Dikembe Mutombo is worthless. I want you guys to know and understand that, but I just don't think I can go higher than D tier. Big Z, Judas Ilgauskas, B tier maybe. Like, Big Z is pretty slow on the court, but he's 7'3", and he's got a good release. And so, like, I think for Big Z, like, I gotta somewhat respect that, right? And so I am gonna throw him a B tier. I think Big Z is really solid, but I don't think I can go higher than B tier. Kristaps Porzingis up next. I'm throwing him at A tier, and I know stat-wise Kristaps Porzingis is not that good, but his release is good. He's 7'3" on the court, 7'2" on the court, I apologize. And it's a really, really solid center on this game. Tyson Chandler up next. I'm going to throw him at D tier as well. Now, the problem with Tyson Chandler is his three ball is somewhat low. Now, honestly, I'm thinking about moving Tyson Chandler up to C tier, though, because I think he's better than Dikembe Mutombo. And so I think I got to throw Tyson Chandler at C tier. I think the card is good. I just don't think he is that Big Z type level. If you can consistently agree with Tyson Chandler, really solid, might be better at that power forward position though. Hakeem Olajuwon up next. I think I've got to go C tier with Hakeem Olajuwon. Another really solid card that if you're looking, you know, I don't think C tier's right. I think I got to go B tier. I still think Hakeem Olajuwon's good. I think side-by-side Pink Diamond Hakeem is better than Tyson Chandler because you're going to consistently be able to green with Hakeem Olajuwon. Whereas with Tyson Chandler, I don't know if you're going to. You know, like, Hakeem's different than Big Z. Not maybe as tall, but I do like what Hakeem gives you as far as, like, the ability to compete on the interior. Good player, model player build, and he's going to shoot the ball incredibly well. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar up next. I think I've got to go A tier at the center position. I think is better than at the power forward position. The big problem with Kareem is this. His release is not great. So on the slower side of things, his three ball is low. If you can consistently green with Kareem, I'm not going to hate on him a ton. But if you're not consistently greening with Kareem, it's pretty tough on the floor. Jaren Jackson Jr., I'm going to throw B tier. I know he's undersized at that center position, but comes with 12 Hall of Famers, most of them defensively. I know a lot of people make the difference. Oh, well, Ty, his Galaxy Opal sees an improved release. I get it. His release goes from normal to quick. But Jaren's release is already good on normal, so I don't really care that much. I think Jaren Diamond is a stud B tier. DeAndre Ayton, not a horrible C tier. I think the problem for me with DeAndre Ayton just comes with, like, isn't he outdated at this stage? Like, I know the card still is good and still can compete, but I think I got to go D tier. I just think at this stage he is just that slightly outdated. Greg Oden up next. I'm going B tier. He's my center, starting center on my No Money Spent Squad series as it stands right now, and I like him. But is he as good as Pink Diamond KP or Kareem? No. I like him a lot, but he's just not that elite of the elite. Really solid center, though, and can play and compete. And that's what I want you guys to realize is all of these cards I got at B tier are really solid cards that can play and compete at an insanely high level. Pink Diamond Wemby up next, S tier. I will say this. There's a difference between the Galaxy Opal Wemby and the Pink Diamond Wemby. Pink Diamond Wemby still is really solid, but the speed, the vertical, there is a pretty big difference in them. I got Wemby at S tier, but I do want you guys to know that there is a pretty big difference between the two cards. Pink Diamond D-Rob. I'm going to go B tier with Pink Diamond D-Rob. I honestly think Pink Diamond D-Rob. So let's say, like, you were not playing the game when Galaxy Open D-Rob was out. So you don't have, Galaxy Open D-Rob. I think P-Dimer D-Rob is good still. 7-1, plays great defense. Sure, you could argue his release is not the easiest to green. I agree with it. But I do think when you get the hang of his release, you're not going to miss with the car, right? And so it's all just about getting the hang of his release. Once you get the hang of D-Rob's release, you're not going to miss with the car. He's an absolute stud, B tier. Wilt Chamberlain at the center position, I'm going to go A tier, not S tier. I know a lot of people running Wilt at power forward. And yes, Wilt snags rebounds with the best of them. He competes well defensively. I just think the tough part for me with Wilt is it's like he's got a 63 ball. And I know a lot of people are like, Ty, Wilt is so good. You just got to love it. And I get it. But he's still got a 63 ball. So it's hard for me to like hype him up to the moon knowing that 3 ball is always going to just leave something to be desired, right? It's just tough for me. Next up, Marc Gasol. People gas him. I do not love that Galaxy Open Marc Gasol. I just don't. And I'm not trying to hate on Marc Gasol. If that's your favorite center, at the end of the day, do what you guys got to do, right? Don't let me be the one to tell you that you can't run Marc Gasol, because you can. I'm just saying I don't love the card. I'm going C tier. I'm taking all of the cards at B tier over Marc Gasol. Yao Ming, I'm going F tier. Honestly, Yao Ming is worse than Dikembe Mutombo at this stage. And I know some people are going to not like that, but that's where I'm at with it. I just don't see how you can really hype him up anything more than that F tier. I just don't. Galaxy Open D-Rob, A tier. I think he's the best player at A tier. I love D-Rob though. And so if you don't love D-Rob, you might not agree with me. But I'm telling you, I think D-Rob is a beast on this game, and I'm throwing him at that A tier. I just don't see what there's not to love about David Robinson. Green shots at a high level, plays great defense. And the big thing, I said green shots at a high level. You've got to be able to knock down shots with D-Rob, right? Like, yes, his release can be tough at times, but if you can get the hang of it, you're going to really like David Robinson on this game. My Team Festival, Shaq, I'll throw him at A tier, I guess. It's just tough, though, because he's an inside big. I mean, if Wilt's going to be an A, this Shaq's got to be an A. But I do not love this Shaq at all. At all. Like, I just don't. I don't know. But I think, I've ranked some cards high. Like, Shaq, I guess, has to go at A tier. But I just want you guys to know, I do not love Shaq as much as some of the other guys on this list. So, I mean, again, I'm taking Pink Diamond KP over Shaq every day of the week. That's just my opinion. Ami Nas at this stage, I'm going to go low C. And this is my bias, because Naz Reid has the easiest release to green on the entire game, in my opinion. So yes, this is my bias taking over, and I'm throwing Naz Reid at C tier. You guys don't have to agree with it, but that's where I'm throwing Naz Reid, who I think is an absolute beast, an absolute stud in this game. And I think if you're running Naz Reid, you're gonna like what you get out of the card. I do. I'm gonna go C tier with Naz. I know a lot of people might not agree with me, but that's where I got Naz Reid, C tier. Galaxy Opal Yao is incredibly good, and it's tough because the question that I have is, I know he's good, but is he A tier good or is he S tier good? And it is something that I'm struggling with as I'm recording this. Yao is 7'6". He grabs every rebound. He's got to go S tier. He's got to. I mean, he's got a good release. He's 7'6". He's got to go low S tier. I mean, he has to. Dark Matter Hakeem, S tier. Really no debate to be had. Hakeem is the real deal in this game. He walks circles around that Shaquille O'Neal card. If you need a good center, get Hakeem over Shaq. I'm telling you, you're going to like it. Hakeem can green shots at an incredibly high level. S tier for Hakeem. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Free Wemby is F tier. I'm sorry. Free Wemby stinks, guys. Now, am I saying you can't ever use Wemby? No. But what I am saying is the card is not an elite card on this game. That's my truth with Wemby. He's not good. Arvydas Sabonis is also F tier. Not good. And I know you've got to grind for Arvydas Sabonis, but I'm telling you, I'm taking Mutombo and DeAndre Ayton over Arvydas Sabonis. The card stinks. 100 overall Shaq is the best card on this list, I think, at the center position. He's got to be easy S tier for Shaq. There's really no debate to be had, in my opinion. If you're running Shaq, honestly, you've got too much money. Like, I'm just being honest. If you're running Shaquille O'Neal, you've got too much money on this game. It's that simple, that easy. S tier for Shaq, 100% of the time. Kristaps Porzingis, 100 overall, S tier. It's the same thing on my power forward list. They both were S tier. There's nothing else to really say about it. Both the cards are absolutely elite. Both cards are S tier. No real questions asked. Shaq, KP, both of them incredibly good on this game. The problem is they are so expensive. Zach Edey up next, A tier for Zach Edey. I don't think he's quite as good as that Yao Galaxy Opal, but I do think Zach Edey is really solid. Gonna throw him in that A tier as, you know, just a really, really good center on this game. Derek Lively at this stage, I'm gonna go C tier. I think he's right in there with like Tyson Chandler type of big. I think he's fine. I just don't think he is the elite of the elite. I'm still taking Greg Oden, Pink Diamond D-Rob over Derek Lively. Next up, Galaxy Opal Victor Wembanyama, S tier for the card. And honestly, I don't know if he's better than the 100th overalls, but after that, I mean, I think I'm taking, you know, Wemby over, you know, Pink Diamond Wemby or Dark Matter Hakeem. I think he is that good. Probably rank S tier like that, something like that. Dark Matter Jokic, I'm gonna go at the top of A tier. I don't think he quite as good as Hakeem Olajuwon. Obviously, I do like Jokic. Obviously, I think Jokic is good. I just think he's only A tier good for this list. Cat, I'm gonna go C tier. I'm gonna go low B because badge-wise, Cat is still gonna be good, so I am gonna go low B. But if you want to argue Cat at just, you know, C tier, that's fine. I'm gonna go low B. I think that's where Cat belongs. But again, I just do not love the release of Karl-Anthony Towns. Galaxy Opal Jaren, A tier. I think he's one of the best players at A tier. I know at the center position, you guys might argue, well, Ty is slightly undersized. I know that, I get that, but Jaren's gonna be Jaren. He's still gonna be ridiculously good on this game. A tier for Jaren Jackson Jr. Şengün, where I'm gonna go low. This one's tough for me, man. This one is extremely tough for me because I don't know if I want to go A tier or B tier with this Şengün. I think I'm gonna lean low A. I think Şengün gives you enough to be low A. I don't think the card's perfect, but I do think he gives you enough to be low A. Joel Embiid, I don't love his release, but he's low S tier. Again, I don't love the release of Joel Embiid, but I still do think the card is good enough to go at that low S tier. I think that's where I want to put him. And so, yeah, that's where he's at. I think that's fair enough for the card. Vlade Divac up next, low A. Card's good. I mean, Vlade is 7'1", can shoot the ball good. I don't even want to say low A, mid A. I mean, he is really solid. Vooch up next. I don't know, man. I gotta eventually separate some of these things. I guess this. I mean, I guess Şengün and Vooch are high B. The problem is, like, Jokic is better than Şengün. So if I put Jokic in A tier, I feel like Şengün's gotta be B tier. At the end of the day, I think I like this a little bit more. Vooch and Şengün are just slightly undersized for that power forward position. They're not as good as Jaren. It's pretty simple. Chet, S tier. I mean, he's better at power forward in my opinion, but no doubt the card does deserve S tier. I don't love Chet personally, but that's my personal bias. Rudy Gobert, A tier. No questions asked. If Wilt at A tier, Rudy Gobert's at A tier. Card I probably need to get on the no money spent to round out my squad, honestly. Quentin Post, D tier. I've used Quentin Post. Honestly, I thought the card would actually be incredibly good. He's fine. I just don't think he's quite incredibly good. He's fine, though. Taco up last. Better than Pink Diamond Yao, but not really. I mean, Taco stinks. Like, he's really bad D tier. Taco is not good whatsoever. I'm sorry, Taco, but you are pretty poor on this game. That is going to wrap it up for our center tier list today. I need to know your guys' thoughts. I actually like it. It's just the B tier, A tier thing that got a little weird, but overall, I do like where this tier list is at. Let me know your thoughts on it, guys. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.